Who are these guys? Well, these guys are some of the most popular musicians in classical music. Their music is what symphonies play, and a lot of their music you would recognize if you heard it. But have you ever gone to hear a symphony live? Maybe not. But symphonies need you to come hear their concerts and listen to their music, and social media is a big way symphonies can reach. Shell Israel says the smartphone and all its wonder will not disappear anytime soon, but it will steadily and irreversibly decline. It will become less important to life and business, and we will start using it less and less. This quote makes me consider the reality that although we may take symphonies and their music for granted, many have already completely disappeared over the last few years, and many continue to struggle. The symphonies that survive and thrive have embraced social media in a big way to communicate with their new and much needed audiences. Definitely, there's no doubt symphonies look very serious and somber, with everyone wearing black tuxedos and long black gowns. There's not a lot of smiling going on or kicking back, and the music they play is generally very old, perceived to be very long and kind of boring. Add to that the famous uptight rules often associated with going to hear a classical concert, like when to clap, when to cough, even when to move, make symphonies not an easy sell to younger, newer audiences. So, what are symphonies doing to change their reputation? This is Montreal's new and stunning La Maison Symphonique and the home to the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. This is where concerts take place, and it's a beautiful, exciting space to come see and hear a classical music concert. But this isn't only what La Maison Symphonique. It also looks like this. Cool, fun, modern architecture with huge glass windows that show off breathtaking views of downtown Montreal at night. This is where people can enjoy a few drinks, talk, and relax during the intermission of a concert, or attend a big DJ'd after concert party that lasts late into the night. For many, many years, this was your typical symphony going audience. But times are changing as this generation diminishes, along with their expectations, traditions, and customs. So symphonies, for really the first time, must reach out to find a brand new audience that has a different style, likes, and demands. This is the new generation symphonies need to reach and attract to fill their halls and listen to their music. Not an easy task, considering many young people don't know much about classical music, generally assume they won't like it or can't relate to it, and it's certainly not perceived as being very cool. Along with the symphony's older traditional audiences were the older traditional conductors. The conductor is the face and artistic interpreter of each symphony. They are the personalities that attract a symphony's audience to their concerts and sell the recordings. As the golden age of these conductors and the way they sold music comes to an end, a new door has opened. These are just a few of today's new conductors who conduct the biggest symphonies in the world. Their style is relaxed, fun, energetic, and they all use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to communicate with their audiences, usually many times a day. They share their exciting professional lives and personal feelings as they travel the globe. They are classical music's new celebrity superstars, and they are creating an enthusiastic and devoted new audience for their symphonies. Yannick Nézet-Séguin, at age 41 and a Montreal native, is a perfect example of the kind of conductor symphonies need today. As a result, he conducts 7 of the top symphonies around the globe. He represents youth, energy, fun, and has a huge ability to communicate and share his enthusiasm for classical music with his own generation. Recently adding the Great Metropolitan Opera in New York City to his roster, the Met revealed there are lots of great conductors and many who could do this job, but Yannick is the right age and will grow with this institution and its audience. Yannick's Facebook cover photo features his own quote, "Moving forward together." The very first online platform for streaming classical music concerts around the world was Medici TV, created in 2008. Medici TV's catalog now provides an archive of thousands of concerts, as well as broadcasts of hundreds of live concerts every year from around the world for free. This is a screenshot of a live concert taking place directly on Medici TV's website. This technology has created a huge shifting away from a decades-old paradigm of elitism associated with these venerable institutions. Now symphonies can reach a new global audience, making classical music inclusive rather than exclusive. Quick on Medici TV's heels was the Berlin Philharmonic, the first symphony to launch its own digital concert hall in 2009. It was created to transmit its own concert season to a web audience on any device by live stream and high definition video and sound. Its digital concert hall website offers listeners not only access to their concerts, but an extensive library of documentaries, bonus films, and interviews with the world's top performers. Their website invites listeners to welcome the Berlin Philharmonic into your home, where we play just for you. Another example of a very inclusive approach to attracting a new symphony audience. People may not always realize, but a lot of their lives already include symphony music. The most popular movies, video games, and pop songs use symphony music to help create a deeper emotional experience and richer soundscape. Symphonies are smart to program concerts featuring the music of movie soundtracks, TV shows, video games, as well as joining forces with popular performers and bands. As a new audience begins to fill concert halls, they naturally bring their cell phones. Typically, classical concerts forbid cell phones to be used to take pictures or record, and in fact are requested to be turned off completely. Although there are strong artistic arguments for these rules, it is also very important that symphonies recognize cell phones are now essential tools for sharing promotional information and creating interest in events, especially on social media. The San Francisco Symphony was one of the first symphonies to introduce tweet seats, or Twitter sections, in their concert halls to encourage patrons to use their phones while not distracting others. Some symphonies embrace a cell phone, like at this Boston Pops concert. For a part of this concert, the audience was asked to cast votes using their cell phones. A phone voting interface displayed real time votes on the large overhead screen above the symphony, showing the votes as they were cast. The audience voted from a selection list featuring Dancing Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Star Wars themes that the symphony would play. To test the cell phone voting interface, the audience was asked during the intermission to vote which color looks best on our conductor, which he returned to the stage after the intermission wearing an orange bow tie and cummerbund. As symphonies get more comfortable using social media, some are smart to take advantage of new features while they're still fresh and exciting. Facebook Live is a great way to connect casually and quickly with audiences. L'Orchestre Symphonique de Quebec has used this feature several times to launch and promote their new concert season this fall. Using Facebook regularly to promote their symphony helps create a new niche of fans. So it seems the symphony is evolving from its old fashioned traditional model into a more relaxed, fun, and sometimes maybe even cool contemporary model. This diagram illustrates some key words that need to inspire today's symphony marketing teams on social media platforms: excite, talk, listen, involve, follow, and loyalty. Social media is proving to be an essential tool for arts organizations. They can now engage with their audiences and supporters in new and effective ways. By creating a strategic online presence, their investment is paying off by increased public awareness and providing the ability to track online data to better interpret the interests and needs of their public. As a social media presence becomes such a huge economic necessity for symphonies, there's now an increasing demand to create jobs to provide this service. This is an example of a job posted in July 2016 by the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra seeking a full-time digital media coordinator. This person must create and manage content for all social media with a long and demanding list of many responsibilities, including working closely alongside the communications manager, reporting to the director of sales and marketing, and requires working additional evenings and weekends. There is no salary stated, but will be based upon experience. So the big switch to social media for symphonies has begun. It really is the only way symphonies can survive. It will still take a lot more dedicated and creative work to elevate and engage the interest of a new audience for these institutions, specifically reaching the tech-savvy millennials. But if done right, theoretically, this generation has the capability to support symphonies for the next half century.